Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. And if you're rewatching this after it's been done, well, I just want to let you know that live streams happen pretty much every Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, that's in US. Anyways, today's topic will be about neon colors. So I have a bunch of eyeshadows and lipsticks, and I was just thinking of, well, basically playing around and showing you a little bit. And I don't know why my computer isn't charging. That's a little bit strange. Let's see. Will it charge now? Weird. Sorry, I have no idea what's going on. Maybe it's dirty. No, that's not. Okay, I'm gonna try the other way around, like so. It's charging now. 1 second, I'll have to plug it better, I think. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, now it's charging. Anyways, so I have a bunch of eyeshadows and lipsticks that are more on the brighter side, so I thought that I will do something with it. I'm not really exactly sure what I want to do with the neon colors. Unfortunately, I didn't really have that much time to think it through. I've been working with assignments until yesterday evening, so but let's see. So usually what I do, I first do my eyes and then I do everything else. Not because of any esoteric reason. The only reason is because I don't want to clean up twice. So I just want to clean up once and put the foundation and concealer and everything on place, rather than, you know, putting everything and then with such bright colors, if you get like some fallout, then you have to just pretty much remove everything. Anyways, I want to show you just a little bit of the brighter colored eyeshadows that I have. So this is the, probably you've seen it gazillion times, is the Urban Decay Electric palette. I like this one. It has really good bright eyeshadows. I'm not a Urban Decay fan, as like I don't go crazy for all their products, but this one is actually one of their best-ish products. They have, for eyeshadows, I don't like the naked palettes. That's just me. I just don't like them. I don't think that they are that great of a quality or that unique colors. For nude colors, I prefer Japanese eyeshadows, actually. But anyways, another one, it's more of a pastel palette, but I like to have at hand like more neutral, bright colors, so that I can blend out the neon ones. So this one is the Shuimura Choupette palette. And it came with a, let me see if I can show you. It came in this case. So it's sort of like a, it's inspired after Karl Lagerfeld's, I think his cat's name is, I don't know, Choupette? Oh, no idea. So yeah. I have this. Let's see. I have also a lot of single eyeshadows because I was thinking I might do something with neon pink and neon or electric blue. So I have like this NYX eyeshadow. It's hot blue. I have one from NARS. It's Outremer, actually one of my favorite blue eyeshadows because it's really, really intense cobalt blue, which is something that's actually hard to find. I don't think there's Shuimura in the US, maybe online, but I mean, all of the Shuimura that I have, I bought when I was traveling to Asia. So just letting you know, or sometimes off eBay. Well, not lately, because I have enough temptation to purchase with what we have here that I'm not going to start going on eBay. Another one is Electro Blue by Medusa Cosmetics. It's actually a cobalt blue, but this one has a lot of glitter. Let's see. Another one is by Armani. It's, I would say, a cobalt purple blue, and they're singles eyeshadows, and it's in the shade 20. I'm just showing you some options for brighter blues if you don't have access to that palette. Another one that I like as to mix it up with is the Bobbi Brown Sequin eyeshadow Moon Rock, but it has a lot of glitter, so it's something that if you're not a fan of glitter, you might not enjoy that one. So I have many more, and especially I have a lot of pigments, but I didn't want to play around with pigments today because they take much more work due to they're very fragile. Like, you might take a little bit too much and then you have really, really big fallout. So I decided to stick with more basic things. So anyways, oh, I have also, as more neutral colors, I took the Tom Ford Titanium Smoke palette and my Random Z palette with random things in there. So I have some Shuemura here, NARS, Rouge Muni Rouge. All of these are MAC, and this is a Dior that I depotted. So yeah, that's that. And let's get started. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, so let me know if there is a preference, because I'm gonna just be winging it as I go. I'm not often doing eyeshadow, that's the truth. I haven't been doing that so often, so if there is something that you want to see, let me know. So first thing first, I'm gonna be priming my eyes. No particular preference. I now have the Urban Decay, the mini original eye potion. Oranges. I can add some orange. I have one orange here, and I have a bright orange here. I can try to mix orange with blue. I'm not sure how that would sit with you guys, but let me know. Okay. Well, I'm gonna of course share tips of things that you can do. You don't have to like wear neons. All the tips that I'm showing here, you can apply it for any eyeshadow or anything that you wish to do. So I'm starting with the eyebrows. Reason is that when the eyebrows are done, I know with more precision where I can place the colors. Well, if I do blue and yellow, it will very much be like IKEA logo or Swedish flag. I can do with yellow, I don't mind. But then of course, like, I have very, very, very neon coral pinks for lips, so I'll see. Let's see if I can go any closer. I'm gonna put this thing here so you can see. Well, actually, I can't really see that much, so. Well, I'm trying to make a proper angle for you guys. Maybe now. By the way, Muffy is in my toes. He's playing there with my toes. He might pop by any moment. Actually, I'm not really seeing anything with that distance, so I'll have to use a regular. Also, something that I wanted to mention, yeah, is that for me, I mean, it doesn't mean that everybody has to do this kind of technique, but for me, when I'm having the eyebrows at least partially done, I have a better idea up to where I want to blend and how I want to blend it. And usually I don't do like completely the eyebrows now, because when I'm going to do the foundation, it will sort of wash off a little bit the eyebrows. Like there is a risk that the foundation might go to the eyebrows. So, oh gosh, I need my glasses. For the eyebrows, I can't. Like it's too much precision. I don't have anything against Swedish people. Like I think they're awesome. I personally admire Swedish people. They have a great culture. I actually grew up partially in Sweden, so yeah, I like their culture. I like Sweden. I love their food. They have great concepts, like IKEA. Most of my furniture here is from IKEA, so whatever. See, yeah, they're more or less there. So now I have more of an idea where I want where the eyebrows are going to be, because I overfill them slightly. And by the way, I'm drinking my Diet Coke as always. Legally blind problems. That's true. Like it's extremely hard to see something. It's extremely hard. Okay, so I'm gonna start priming. Nothing out of the ordinary. Probably everybody and their mother on YouTube does this. And I apply all over and I apply underneath. Reason why I apply underneath is that with very heavy eyeshadows and bright colors in general, you want to have very, very well concealed under eye. So very flawless, no creasing, no cracking. So I use eyeshadow primer underneath so that the concealer will stick better. I don't do this always. Like I just do it if I have to apply very intense eyeshadows. Let's see, are there any questions? Yeah, pretty much everything is mysterious in the bathroom. I mean, at night when it's dark, I often don't bother putting on the light because, I mean, honestly, it's almost the same whether there is light or not. So I've learned how far everything is, and I'm like often poking with my foot. So my foot is my probe for everything, and often I have bruises in my foot because I'm poking things. So okay, so now I have to decide what I want to do with my eyes. Shall I start dark or shall I start light? Oh, that's a tough question. I'm gonna take this. That's not very much makeup artistry of me. Like, I have no idea what I want to do. Anyways, I'm taking a little bit of the MAC paint stick in white. Reason being is that I want to, I'm getting rid of these small eyeshadow applicators because they're annoying. Reason why I'm going to apply the white paint stick is that I want the neons to come out true to tone. So I think I'm going to do most of the lower mobile lid. So this portion, I think I'm going to do this with the neon, and then I might darken it towards the crease so that it doesn't look just like one color block. And I'm always starting, if I'm using creams like that, because this cream doesn't really set. What will set it is the eyeshadow. And that cream alone, in my experience, it will crease if you don't use a primer underneath. Yeah, so when I'm using these kind of creams, I don't do both eyes at the same time because it will just crease and then I have to smooth it out again after a while in order for it to take the color properly. So I'm gonna take MAC. I have no idea what brush is this, but it's just a flat brush that deposits color very intensely. And I am thinking of using the electric palette. I'm gonna go with a mix of this one with a little bit of this one. So this is a color. It has a lot of, and then I'm just tapping the excess because I tend to pick a lot. So it's sort of a mix of a cobalt blue with a little bit of the warmth of the neon turquoise. So let's see what that brings. Well, actually, I like it. And I'm just gently tapping the color so that it will stick to the cream base. And often if you use these kind of Urban Decay primers and your eyeshadow doesn't want to stick, that's because the base is too dry for certain eyeshadows, especially if you use neons. I'm again doing the same mix. I hope you can see properly what's happening. The camera, it doesn't come off very, let's see. It comes off darker on the camera than it actually is. So it's a very vibrant blue. And I'm just creating sort of a winged-ish thing because I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. And when I don't know what I want to do, I tend to do one eye and then the other. Let me read the comments. Okay, cool. I wasn't really exactly sure. So yeah, anything that you see here, it's slightly brighter in reality. And now I'm just adding a little bit more of the cobalt blue only because I'm feeling like it's turning a little bit too much to green for my taste. So yeah, that's better. Much better. Even if you have a white base underneath, you have to keep in mind your skin undertone on how a eyeshadow color will come off, especially when you're dealing with very bright colors. So I mixed up that turquoise with the cobalt blue. The cobalt blue was very, very cool tone, and the turquoise had a slight warmth to it. And now that I'm looking at the edges, I can see that it's turning too much to green. So therefore, that's why I'm applying more of the cobalt blue. And it might not really look like that on the camera, but usually you can tell what undertone the eyeshadow is going to look like if you swipe it on your skin and you look at the edges where it actually blends. There you can see the true undertone when it's mixed up with your own skin color. So I've done that. Now I'm going to grab, where do I have a smallish brush? I don't really have that many makeup brushes, as surprising as that might sound. I think I'm gonna add slow burn, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on top. So this is what slow burn looks like. It's more vibrant on the skin than it's on the palette. And I'm going to apply it on the corner. Actually, it's coming off more pink on my skin. So this is what it's coming off as. It's more of a pink coral than an orange coral. So, I mean, if you see it here, it looks more orange, and when it's actually applied on my skin, it has more of a pink undertone. Okay. I'm sorry if this is going too slow. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna grab, I have no idea what's this one. Let me check. It's showing more glitter 251. So this is a color. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. It is a, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it doesn't add much color. It just adds glitter, basically. Ow, my feet are hurting me. He's like cleaning my toes. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a moment when I'm finished applying this. And I like those glitter because it blends in the two colors and it creates sort of like a third color without you placing any color. So we have the initial placement of the bright colors, and now I have to think what I want to, which palette you are referring to. I'm not sure, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's the Urban Decay Electric palette. The first one, I mean, this one. This is the Urban Decay. I like it because it has a lot of different, like the tones are pretty pure in that eyeshadow palette. Like they are, usually if you buy neon colors, when you apply them on the on your eye, they tend to be very washed out. Like it's very hard to build a pigmentation, but actually that Urban Decay is surprisingly pigmented. So I'm actually going to go with this pastel blue, and I'm going to blend out a little bit of the blue before I do anything else. I'm sorry if this starts to be overly complicated. That's not my intention, but it's kind of hard when you don't really see that well. So I'm just grabbing in a small fluffy brush, and this is the Sephora from a decade ago. So probably you can't buy this one, but it's the number 18 crease. They have really good crease brushes in Sephora. Like seriously, I'm tempted to get more of theirs. And when you're having bright eyeshadows, really be careful in the blending. Like I'm just ever so lightly touching the brush to my skin. And I'm not sure if you can see how the blending is happening. Well, I'm going to come a little bit closer. So now I'm also putting that blue one on the orange part. And now I'm pushing upward. So when the color that I want it to blend with is properly placed, I sort of like drag the darker or more intense color upward, and that sort of like blends both of them rather than, you know, rolling. That rolling motion can often create patches and can make it so that some areas are uneven in terms of the color tone. So there you go. I still haven't blended here because I'm gonna do something else there. So that's that. I'm not sure if I want to keep it that way or I want to add something more intense to it. But if I were to add something more intense, I would probably go with something like this. So I'm thinking if I want to do that, or I don't know, I'm not really sure if, do you want to see a more darker eye or less darker? That's up to you. What would it be more fun for you to see? I'm trying to think what could work. I'm going to add a little bit more of the blue, actually. And I'm just blending it now, or adding higher placement of the blue. And I don't really have any specific reason. I'm just okay. Now I'm just taking whatever is left over of that intense blue, and I'm blending upwards. Okay. So I'm thinking what I want to do with, and I'm now taking, I have no idea, this is also a decade old, so I'm kind of between a placement brush, like with the one that you place the pigment, and a blending. I'm going to be taking this sort of goldish tone, just a little bit, and I'm applying it on top of the orangey color. And the reason is I just want to blend that color better. So if it would be something more natural, or natural, that word, less intense, then you could just leave it like that and add like black eyeliner. But I'm gonna try to make it more intense by adding, let me check if I like this one. No, this is too sheer. I'm not gonna do that. No, this is too, I don't like it. I'm gonna be using this, I'm gonna be mixing this one and this one. So sort of like a gunmetal with a bit of violet undertone and a pure gunmetal gray. And you can always check on the back of your hand if it's like the tone that you want before applying it on your eyes. Why are you staring at me like that, Muffy? He's like, and I'm gonna start adding, I don't know if I'm liking this. I'm adding these more or less where I had that blending color. but I'm not yet convinced that I'm really liking it. So we'll see how this turns out to be. What? What is it, Ma? What's the matter? I'm taking the same blending brush I had for the lighter color and I'm blending that. This actually makes it less intense. I'm not yet done, of course, but there has to be a lot of blended here, like adding more darkness there. I'm gonna actually take this one, which is just clean and it's fluffier, so I can blend darker colors much more easily. Darker colors can be often a pain to blend. That's just reality of it. I'm applying a bit of the darker gunmetal on the inside and creating like a full wing, and then blending it with this clean brush. And I'm actually being able to blend this way, like with the glasses on. Like if you have glasses that permit you to do that, especially, I mean, for the actual lid is very hard, but for the blending component of the crease, I think it's rather easier this way than trying to squint. Okay, so here we have initial placement. I'm gonna now add more of the neon colors because they've been washed out. So just a little bit of the cobalt blue and blending it towards the dark color. And of the orange, I'm just adding like ever so lightly. Not that much. Then just taking a random blending brush. Okay. It's with the technique of not rolling the brush, because when you roll, you lose control very easily. So basically, I'm just like gently, I push downwards and I lift. That's the best way I can explain. And that movement causes it that it's easier to keep a cleaner line. Like I used to use tape, like back some 8 or 9 years ago. The tape method was everything. But then the tape method, the problem is that the line is so friggin' sharp that you have to then blend it out. Otherwise it will look like you have, you know, it's obvious that you've used tape. So that's the only thing. And it's, I mean, it's not insanely sharp. I can like then clean it up if I want to. But yeah, that's the then try that method of not blending like this way, but you press and push like so. Not sure, let's see if I can show it there. Do you see? This is the common blending method, which there, I mean, you could do this very, very small circular motions, but most often people do this, and therefore you are really smudging it anywhere. But if you press left and you know, like almost you're trying to wipe out, like wiping the eyeshadow, like you want to take it off. But the key is that you're pressing and you're not like removing the product, but you're pressing and gently gliding it upwards. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna probably blend it with something. I'm trying to think what I want to clean up the edges with. I'm going to be using this one from Laura Mercier, and it's the Sparkling Dew. So it's a very basic, creamy color. Doesn't have anything special. I'm taking just a little bit of it, and I know it is in fashion to use, you know, very highlighted colors up there. I personally don't like that because it takes away the attention to the lid. I like to have more on the lid, so therefore I use very, very, very neutral skin tone, almost highlighter if you wish. And sometimes I won't even do anything, but now because I have such a dark color here, I want to clean it up better. And there we go. Now I have to think. I want to do something with the eyeliner. Another thing. I don't like to use anything under the eyes, except if you have very, very big eyes or a structure in your eye that you can, that it doesn't make you look too tired. Because when you apply darkness underneath, especially like when you're smoking eye or anything like that, it will automatically tire your face. So basically it will bring these features down. So if you have already a structure that your eyes are very, very big, you can do that thing. But if you tend to have already like hooded eyes, or you have a lot of wrinkles, or maybe some loss of firmness, I would not apply anything underneath. Or if you're wearing eyeglasses, the only thing that I would do is maybe some kind of taupe color, and very, very lightly, like I showed last week, in order to contour the eye, but not to add darkness underneath. And another thing, I personally don't like to use anything on my waterline, but for today's purpose, I have one here. Actually, I have to sharpen it. But if I'm doing something neon like this, an option would be to use a very, very bright kohl, and it won't make your eyes look too tired or too closed. It will actually balance out a little bit. And I never apply on anyone the full waterline with black eyeliner. I think that's the easiest way to get a more smaller and tired eye. And on the other hand, I try to avoid using anything on the waterline because I think it's not very safe. Like, I don't like to mess with the inside of the eyes. So, where are my stuff here? I'm thinking like, what do I want to apply up there? If I want to apply, I'm gonna apply just a little bit of the black eyeliner, and I'm gonna actually sharpen my feet. Okay, he's there on the floor like a tiny dog with wings. Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Thank you. I'm gonna just sharpen the eye pencil. Yeah, exactly. Especially also if you use contact lenses. If you use anything on your waterline, it will transfer to your contact lenses. So at the very least, you will get some kind of, your contact lens will get dirty. And on extreme cases, it will like itch your eye and you will get like irritations and whatnot. So anyways, I'm trying to speed this thing up so that I can keep it under 2.5 hours because I have to go to the post office. I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. Extremely and hellishly expensive eyeliner. I will already warn you. You are free to check the price, but it's hellishly expensive. It has two tips. So it has one that's like a felt tip and one that's more of a precise tip. This one has lasted me for 2.5 years, something like that. So I'm not that bothered. I'm doing an extremely thin line because there is already a lot of darkness going on, already a lot of stuff going on, and you could use fake lashes, but I don't have any of my fake lashes cleaned, and I'm not, I don't feel like wearing fake lashes, basically. So then there is this tiny one that's good to clean up lines. And because the shape is already like lifting upwards, then I don't really need that much eyeliner. I'm just using like only slightly. Well, don't worry. I mean, the only thing that I need to see with your swatches, by the way, someone is trying to send me swatches in order to color match. What I need to see is like the contrast between the NW10 and your skin. And if you can tell me more or less, like, does that look to your eye? Does it look very pink? Does it look orange? And I can get more or less an idea. So that's one eye. I have to hurry up and do the second eye. So you already know the process. I'm just gonna try and go quickly so I can start showing you the rest of the thingies. And again, I'm just doing the same thing that I did on the other eye. I'm not, although I might not stick exactly to the same method, but just want to get the same result. Whoops, applied a little bit too much of that blue. What is it, Moth? He's actually, hello. He actually was calling me to go there, but no, I'm not going there. And you know that, Moth. Okay, there's that. And I'm gonna be reading your comments now and answering. I just want to get almost halfway down here. So we have that. I'm trying to come closer to the camera so you can see what I'm actually doing. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. It's very pretty palette. Actually, this is my maybe third time using it. I've had it for 1.5 years or something like that. The last time I went to Singapore, I actually purchased it from the Hong Kong airport. Long story. It was a nightmare of a trip, like the way home at least, because we had to go from Singapore to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to Amsterdam, and from Amsterdam to Helsinki, because we were basically cheap asses and we wanted to save 150 euros on the flights, and we spent 40 hours traveling. So instead of paying, 150 more, and we would be 11 hours traveling. And what do I burn my 150 more? Well, on a palette, on a foundation. For that, I actually was willing to undergo 40-hour trip while having the flu. Just brilliant stuff. Brilliant thinking, Nora, brilliant thinking. And especially that I'm not very small, so economy class for me is very, very hard because let me see if I can show you. The edge of the seat actually ends here. So basically I only have from here to here is actually on the seat thingy, and from here to here is actually, I don't have place. So if I'm in the middle, I have to keep my arms like this, and if I'm like on the easel, which I try to always get that seat, my arm is always like out and people are kicking it, so, or bumping into it. So yeah, Nora is very smart. Nora wants to save money, so instead of saving money other ways, but yep. What is it, Muff? I'm gonna play with you when I'm done. Yeah. Yeah? Let's see, are there any comments? Sorry if I'm... Yeah, money well spent. But I was miserable. It took me a good 2 weeks to recover from that trip. Like, well, we went for almost 3 weeks to Singapore, so that part was good. But the part that wasn't good is that well, I couldn't really sleep that well with my mom because she snores very heavily, and I forgot that fact. And we had, the same hotel room. So 3 weeks I was slightly sleep deprived because no matter earplugs, earphones, nothing. So I was like sleeping maybe 4 hours at night. And then we were, all of the day active. Like we were going to zoos, we were going to shop and whatnot. So when it was time to leave, I caught either not the flu, but I mean a really, really bad cold. It's that type of cold that you get when you're very stressed and you're exhausted. It's not the like common cold or common flu. At least to me, I get those things like when I'm like worn out, I get sort of like headache and throat pain and I get fever. And if I'm not able to rest properly, it evolves to full-blown like bronchitis and sinusitis and whatnot. So because my symptoms started out when we were leaving, and we had that cheap flight situation, then I wasn't able to recover. So I got worse. So I was like, when I went back home, I was 2 weeks on the bed. But at least I had a palette and a foundation, so yeah. No, I mean, not too shabby, I think. Yes, exactly. It's that, prolonged stress cold. Exactly. It's that type of cold. They're the worst. They're worse than those that you get when everybody's having a cold, because those from prolonged stress, your immunity is so compromised that it really takes a long time before everything recovers. So yeah, let's see. Trying to rush this thing up. But the dark color is, as I said, the hardest to blend around. So I'm trying to be, yeah, exactly, because the defenses are very down. So it's really, you can't really do much about it. You're basically worn out in every possible sense. So yep. And that's why I avoid early morning flights. Like those, I have learned that I'm gonna catch whatever silly thing if I take those very early morning flights. The like intercontinental morning flights, that's just nasty. Because in addition to you can't really sleep well at night. It looks like one is brighter than the other. You can't really sleep well at night because you're stressed out, and especially if you have to wake up, at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning to catch a 7 in the morning plane. Why isn't it taking? Taking a little bit of that one. Let's see. It's not willing to have the same brightness. Oh well. So if I can, I'm always looking at flights that are around 2 p.m. or something like that, because I much rather do that than, yeah, if you go with the first class or something like that, it's much better, at least for me, because I fit on the chair, especially my back. My legs, I don't have any problems, but my back, I don't fit in the chairs. And some airlines are worse than others. So sorry, I'm thinking what I was going to say. I have flown, when I came here with Muffy, I flew first class because that was the only way to bring him, like that I could have him in the cabin with me because there would be enough space for him. And of course I wanted less stress because it was already horribly stressful. Like I didn't know what was going to happen, because from Finland nobody ever brought a bird abroad, or at least not to US. So I really didn't know anything. Like I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take first class. At least like I get to board first, and if there is some kind of problem, technical problem, they tend to solve it faster. If you're in first class, that's just the fact how it is. I never flown Emirates. I went Turkish Airlines, which was the only one that, you know, departed from Helsinki and was going to New York that would allow birds. I know Emirates allow birds, but they don't depart from Helsinki. So that was, yeah, mini problem. So now I'm doing just the eyeliner quickly. And the other time I flew, which was by my husband's company, or through my husband's company or employer, and it was economy premium, which isn't business or first class, but it's considerably better. So if you have problems with seat width, pick the economy premium because seats tend to be larger. And you won't be, you know, it won't be as expensive as flying business or whatever. Okay. Hope the darkness is similar. I mean, one side there's a little bit more brightness. I'm gonna try and correct that. Let's see. Okay. Well, sometimes such things happen. So I think I'm done with the upper eyelid. So you can see, like here, there is a little bit more brightness than in this side. I'm not sure if it's because I didn't wipe the brush, because I was trying to rush it. But I mean, for me, it doesn't bother me. But if I would be doing it for somebody else, I would be more careful about that fact. Yeah, so let's see. I'm taking off the brushes that I don't need. I'm gonna wash them off later. Yep. So that's that. I'm gonna be adding now oh, that's strange. So like she can't go through US, or she can't oh yeah, because you can't fly directly from Mexico to US. Sorry, not US, but like from Mexico to Asia. You have to go through first, through US first, or how does it go? Okay, so I'm going to be adding a little bit of this. And you'll be able to see what the effects are. So watch out. Okay, we still have over an hour, so that's good. So I just add about that amount, and I'm not gonna blend it out or anything right now, but I'm gonna do that later when I have applied all the concealers. And oh my goodness, that's a awfully long trip. Oi, that must be very stressful to do. Okay, so I have new products, some new products that I wanted to share with you. This is a small brand, basically, you know, like almost, I don't want to say handmade brand, but I think, yeah, they're handmade brand. And they make like pretty unusual colors and unusual textures and things like that. So the brand is Life's Entropy. And they're, you know, sort of sci-fi, geek-ish type of brand. And this is Galaxy Glow Illuminator in the shade Nebula. And they have many, many different highlighters that are white, but they are duochrome. Muffy, you want to come? You want to come say hello? You want to come? Yeah, you wanted to come. Kitty pie. Yeah, so you have like white with blue, white with green, and all of those. So they have really, really cool things like that. And they're actually relatively inexpensive. I think this was $12 or something like that. And then something that's very interesting is their contour. So look at how grayish it is. So they have, I think, 8 different contour colors. I might be wrong, maybe it's 6 or something like that. And they have them all swatched in a hand so you can see the undertone. So this is the most grayish that they have, and it's the Gamma Particle Contour Stick. And this is in the shade, you know, Gamma, so Gamma Ray. They have also eyebrow thingies, so this is their eyebrow pomade. They have foundation whitener, so like liquid white thingy. They have unusual lipsticks, colors, a lot of duochrome eyeshadows, and I'm gonna leave their link down below. I think it's a pretty neat brand for, you know, handmade things. I think it's really, really cool. So where are my things? Where Muffy? Oh no, sorry. When I'm missing something, I'm always saying Muffy. Anyways, I have now on an SPF from Shiseido, which is from the White Lucent. It's a moisturizer, but it has like, it's very shimmery. But I still want a little bit more, so I'm gonna add this Wonder Glow by Charlotte Tilbury. And today I'm not using my, is the palette thingy, like the blending palette. That brand, I was gonna say she, because I think it's a she, but I could be wrong. They ship worldwide, at least to my understanding, so there should be no problem. I think, I'm not gonna start saying here because I'm not really sure, but it's like it's not that expensive, their products, so there shouldn't be really that big of a problem with the, you know, taxation to Europe. I'm not sure though with Germany, because I know German customs can be a little bit problematic. So I don't know what's the threshold amount for, like, before they start taxing you. I know in Finland it's 50 euros or something like that. So because they are so inexpensive, like you can get these through, I think it was $20. So I think you should be able to buy some things without, you know, getting taxed, because they aren't that expensive. Okay, so I've applied just a little bit more of the Wonder Glow, basically just to add a little bit more glow to the face. And now I'm going to use something that I'm not normally fond of using otherwise, but it's the NARS all day, Lumi something. Anyways, the swatches are on my website, so I'm just using whatever's left here. I'm gonna get more in order to make a proper review, but this is hellishly yellow foundation. Like, I'm not extremely fond of this foundation, but the reason why I'm using this one now is that this has extremely high coverage, as you can see, for a liquid foundation. And when you have such bright colors in your eyes, you really want to make sure that everything else is very even. But you can see that this is this is extremely yellow for me, but this is the highest coverage in a liquid foundation that I have currently. I mean, I have the Marc Jacobs, but it cracks too much on me compared to this one, so that's the reason why I'm using this one. And I don't know what's happening to the light. Sorry. I hope you can see better. So, and because it's so has such a high coverage, I'm using a lot of like illuminating things underneath so that it has a little bit more life, because it's so yellow for my skin that it can tend to look a little bit flat. And I think I'm gonna have to fetch my beauty blender to blend this thing, because it's so thick that it needs more heavy duty blending. So if you can wait like 1 minute, I'm gonna go grab the beauty blender. Be careful, Mom, be careful. This foundation also sets very quickly, so I would recommend working with it very quickly, very fast. Yeah, that's true. The Sheer Glow foundations, I personally despise. Like, they've never worked for me, and for like the other foundations that there are out there, for the choices that we have out there, I think that the Sheer Glows from NARS isn't like the best option that one could go for, especially if you're pale. I mean, for darker skin tones, it works very well, and I think it has to do, again, like I probably mentioned in the past, it has to do with the ingredients that they put in order to make the shades. Like, they have to use different pigments for different shades. So I think in their Siberia shade, it's often sort of like messed up. Not only with NARS, but a lot of other brands. Let's see if I have. So, I mean, I love this foundation for the coverage that it gives. I mean, you can tell that it's quite yellow for my undertone. I'm very blue. I have pink, but my white areas that don't have, you know, pinkish dots, they are very blue. So when I use something like this, it's quite obvious that I have foundation, but I'm not really bothered. Anyways, yeah, what else could I tell you about this foundation? It's also it can crack easily, so that's something that you have to keep in mind, because it's so heavy. Not heavy in the sense of product or texture. The texture is very much liquid, but it's heavy in the sense of the pigmentation. So yeah, anyways, now I'm gonna go with, and as always, I use my buffing brush from Real Techniques, and then I use the Beauty Blender to blend pretty much 90% of my stuff. So this is the Becca Backlight Corrector in Violet, and I'm using a little bit of this on the outer edges. And I'm taking Beauty Blender and blending it, and this is just to brighten, because in this area where it's heavier, the eyeshadow, I really want it to be very, very bright. Next one I'm taking is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is the color. And this will go on the inner corner where I have the most pigmentation darkness. I hope you can see properly what I'm doing. If you have any questions, just let me know. That's the point of me doing these videos, is to hopefully share knowledge. Another thing, I could change the undertone of the NARS. Like, it's possible, but there is only so much that you can change, because the higher the pigmentation, the more, you know, you have, the little leverage you have to change the undertone. So I could add some drops of something to make it less yellow, but it will then mess up with the formula, and that's something that I don't want, because I wanted this heavy, high coverage formula. So we have that, and now I'm gonna apply Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer in the shade, I believe it's in the shade Ivory. Yeah, Ivory. It's very, very, very pale. One of the palest concealers that I know, so there it is. And taking the flat brush. And then all of this has to be really properly set. So there is honestly a lot of product there. Another thing I wanted to mention is that when you're doing very bright colors, you want to be careful to have everything properly concealed, so that the colors will take the attention and it won't emphasize other things. So if you are applying very, very bright eyeshadows, and then you have a lot of redness or pimples or under eye, like really dark or something, what will happen is that it will draw more attention to those colored areas. So that's why I am using foundations and concealers that are extremely pigmented, because I want only the eyeshadows and the lips to stand out. See if I have questions. The Makeup Forever drops are actually, I know someone who told me that he has used them and they mess up with the formula. Like, I wanted to purchase them, but he was saying that they actually really do mess up with the foundation formula. So I kind of lost a bit interest in those. Muffy went to take a nap, actually. Oh my goodness, this is the tough part. I don't like doing this, but I have to do it. Where is mine? I don't know. Another thing I saw that it was mentioned about the color theory. Color theory is very, very helpful, but unfortunately, with foundations, especially foundations, you have to also take care of formula compatibility. So you can apply something to lighten or darken a foundation, but then it will mess up completely with your formula, therefore making it not that very smart to change the formula. Another thing you have to keep in mind is chemical reactions with the whatever components there are in the foundation formula. Chemical reactions can alter the foundation shade. Like for example, oxidation. Oxidation happens because of many things. It happens because there is contact with oxygen. It happens because of the pH of your skin, of the hydrogen bonds, because of evaporation of solvents, because you know, maybe the foundation that you're using has a lot of hydrophobe how do you say, molecules, and when you're putting it in your skin, maybe your skin is very moisturized, therefore it doesn't react the same way. So that's why it's kind of tricky to alter foundation undertones. It's easier to alter the depth, like darker or lighter, but the undertones, that's trickier, especially if you have a foundation that's the undertone is it's dominant. So for example, NARS foundations, they are yellow dominant. No matter which one you look, they all have a lot of yellow component. Now, if you go some other brand, they might have pink undertone as their stronger. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, Muffy is actually napping. It's his nap time. He's in the shower napping, actually, to be more precise. Which I... Bye. Don't worry. He likes to sleep in the, you know, the shower thing, like where you keep the shampoos and like on the shower head, like there is this like a basket that you put. I don't know the name for it. It's like a basket. Yeah, it's his nap place. Like he goes there a couple times a day to nap, and it's his nap place. I used to keep my shower necessities there, but he started napping there, so no longer my shower necessities are kept there because it's his nap place. No. Muffy is my canary bird. Yeah, I talk about him like a person. A little tiny person. Now I'm just setting with a lot on my under eye. Just using whichever brush. And then I'm gonna be removing all of this, so don't worry. Okay. Now I'm gonna be using mascara. Whoops. Or actually I'm gonna be doing the face, so. Okay, you didn't miss a lot. I just set my under eye. I'm using this Guerlain Meteorites Pearly White thingy. This. And there is fallout on my eyebrows, but it's easy to remove, so. And for myself, I like to use this little powder puff. I mean, I never use this on pretty much anyone, so I like this little puffy thing. And our brows are wiped. Now I'm removing the excess of powder underneath. And keep in mind, this level of makeup will look cakey. That's just how it is. And another trick in order to set the powder further is to press it with a beauty blender. That will remove the excess powdery look. Now I'm going to contour. I'm going to use the Surat. Yeah, I think it's an Asian exclusive. I'm not going to lie. I think I've heard that it was Asian exclusive. And I'm not going to do any... Yeah, the blender is damp. It's big, so it's like moderately damp. There is just slight wetness. And again, as I showed you last week, I'm just, yeah, placing the contour there. I'm not gonna do anything crazy with the contouring. I'm taking in these MAC 171. These ones were made in Japan, so it's pretty soft, the bristles. And I'm going to lightly contour the edges so that the foundation doesn't look like a mask. And there, I'm not going to do any crazy contouring or anything like that. Just, I wanted to add a little bit of dimension back to the face. Then I'm taking the Hourglass palette thingy. Palette thingy, like, I say thingy to everything. The Hourglass shade, like this one, the diffused light, because I think that's the one that I recommended last time. I'm taking a little bit of the diffused light and blending the contour with that one. By the way, if you want a brush that blends really beautifully, oh, it's getting dark. The Laura Mercier, I think it's the Skin Blender, is very, very good. It's a dual fiber, but it's it has slight roughness to it that it blends things very nicely. I'm getting slight lifting of product, which can happen when you have sunscreen and whatnot. There is a slight lifting of product, but I'm not too bothered about it. Now I'm taking the, is it dim light? And actually I don't like this brush for dim light. Taking this one with dim light and only using it on the outer corners and a little bit on my, under my brow bone and on top of the eyebrows. Now I'm taking this one, which is iridescent light, with the Bobbi Brown blender brush, and this will be my blush. Basically, it's very, very light, but the reason being is that I already have a lot of color going on, and I don't want it to turn into excessive color, so that's why I'm just really keeping minimal. And I'm taking the Bobbi Brown highlighter in Pink Glow. By the way, if you have very dry skin, this foundation from NARS will not work. Like, to me, it already slightly cracks. Well, you can always rewatch it, so. And if I'm not using any blush or anything, I like to put highlighter in my cheekbone, especially here, you know, there is the darker and the lighter, so I'm taking the darker and using it there. Blah, blah. I'm sorry that I didn't use this contour. I'm going to be using it next time, because now with this foundation. The cream formula might not blend very well, but I'm going to be doing swatches. So this is the contour, and I mean, I've applied like very heavily, but there you can go. Or if you apply lightly, there you go. It's actually like very gray, like really gray. And the Nebula highlighter. Can you see it? I mean, there, the reflection. So it doesn't add color, but it sort of reflects the light. I'm trying to find a better angle. So I think it's like they're neat products for the price. I've tried it on my face, and they have rosy undertone, they have green undertone, they have many different undertones, which is why I liked it. And also with the contours, they have different undertones as well. So mascara, hey, I forgot. I don't know which color of pink lilac. No, this has a pink gold undertone, more towards pink gold. Which mascara? So what color is this one? That one. I'm gonna be using, yeah, I don't know. Gonna be using the Marc Jacobs. No, they aren't silicone-y at all. Neither of them. They're more like stick. Where did I put my primer? Primer. Oops. Primer. There. So now I'm just using eyelash primer because I no longer have my lash extensions. So now I can use the primer. Well, I have one lash extension. What the hell? Like, it doesn't want to fall. And here in this eye, I still have two. So whatever. Okay. There's that. You could add also colorful mascaras, but I only have reddish tone now, and I don't want to add reddish to this, so I'm gonna be using the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara, which is probably by far my favorite black mascara. And sorry if I'm silent, I can't quite read. I'm not sure what was that comment for. Sorry. I lost track of what I might have said. And for mascaras, I don't really have much of a technique. I mean, of course, it varies when I'm applying it to someone else versus to myself. But besides that, I don't really, not really having that much. I'm going to be taking a little bit of these two, so very lightly. And you remember where we applied the turquoise? Well, I'm going to be blending that out a little bit. Not sure if you can see. The weather has, or the sunshine has suddenly changed, so it's making it a little bit hard for you to see, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Okay, there's that. The mascara is done. And now I'm gonna go for lips. So I'm gonna be using a neutral lip liner, nothing special. I have a lot of residue in my lips, which I try to remove as much as I can. There's nothing special here. I'm just lining. I personally prefer to line lips with something neutral when I'm going to use brighter colors. Okay, so I'm thinking, because I have several options. Yeah, sure thing. I can do that on the next Friday. But one thing that I want to say is that for me, all lipsticks go. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with, and also oh yeah, nudes can be a little bit tricky. That's true. Nudes can be a little bit harder to deal with, especially if you're very, very pale. So I can try and help with that, because with the bright colors, it's up to what you feel using. So I have this one, which is a really, really cheap lip gloss. It's from, the brand is Biz. It's an Australian brand that I bought in Europe. And I have its lipstick, which, as you can see, it's a really cheap brand. And then I have from Creolan, I have these are their glow stick lipsticks. So I'm gonna be doing a mix, and I have the Candy Yum Yum. So let's see, starting with the Candy Yum Yum. And I'm just using the let's see, Bobbi Brown. I use the concealer brush. Yeah, I know that feeling. One trick that I use, if I'm going to be using something like, let me show you. If I'm going to be using something like New Vanilla from Tom Ford, is that I will line my lips with something slightly darker, because otherwise it will just melt with the face, which can be a nice look also if done properly. So, but I can show you that. Look at this glow stick. This is seriously glow stick. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not even kidding about this. Look at this. This is, you can't find more neon in lipsticks than this one. Like, it's pure highlighter. And this is the Kryolan. And I actually have the orange too. And I'm trying to find, it just says lipstick. I'm gonna try and find them. And oh, hello, Ma. You woke up? And I'm gonna try and put it on my blog, actually. So I've used a little bit of the Candy Yum Yum. I'm gonna go again a little bit with it. And just for the heck of it, I'm gonna add. This is also, I need to show you. Glow stick. This is just pure glow stick. And I think these ones you can buy on eBay or some random website, but look at this. I mean, even the camera can't pick it up properly. Like, this is extremely neon. So yeah. Muffy, you wanna come here? Come here. Come just for a moment. Come with me, please, please, please. Okay, thank you. There we go. Look, you wanna say hello? Muffy, what's the matter? I think he's still a bit like, just because he woke up, so, right? Sorry. Yeah. I think they might not be the best lipsticks on earth, like texture or something like that, but they are extremely bright. I have never I'm talking about cosmetics, like if there were people. Okay, I've never seen anything that's brighter, that's in terms of lipsticks. Like, now there are a lot of indie brands that are making, like, you know, Lime Crime or Jeffree Star or something like that. They're making bright lipsticks, but they aren't glow stick neon, like straight up neon colors. And that they have such a intense color payoff at the same time. I don't know. Why are you so pretty? He doesn't know. He jumped on the computer keyboard, by the way. He wanted to go to his cage to eat. So yeah, that's pretty much my neon look. I mean, it might not look that insanely neon, mainly because I used the dark colors. And on the lips, I mainly kept the very, very vibrant on the center so that it sort of pops even more. And on the rest, like the rest of the lip, I use this one, which is from Biss. Again, it's that Australian brand. It's called, it's a lip stain, and it's called Neon Pink. I'm going to show you what it looks like as a swatch. So look, I mean, it's very sheer, but it's a neon pink. And it's also, this one is actually pearlescent. So it's sort of like 80s neon pink. And the lip gloss is, actually, let me show you the other shades. Sorry, no. So we have this one, which is neon orange. And if you can see, the cap matches the color of the lipstick. So this is straight up glow stick. I mean, the camera isn't even picking it because it's so neon. It's funny. It's appearing a bit different. Then I have to clean this up. Whoa, what have I done? Okay. Then we have the orange version. Oops. There. Which is also pearlescent. And then from Cryoline, I have the orange lipstick. There. When it's, the camera can't read neons. It's hard for it to read them. Then I have this one, which is sort of like a neon lavender. Whoops. Okay, I just jammed it. It was too soft, so I'm taking from there and there, like a neon lavender. And this is from Kiss, New York. Yes, that's true. Neon lipsticks or neon colors overall look extremely good on pale skin. I must say that you're absolutely right. They are really, really good. Like other more normal colors might be harder to pull off if you're very pale, but neon just pop out or pop from the skin so beautifully. And yeah, they are lip stains. As you can see, they do stain. And the purple, you know, they're very, very cheap. Like I paid like maybe $1 and something or $2, $3, something like that. I'm trying to find the shade. And the shade is 19 if you're looking at. There's another one that you can find at Ulta, and it's Revolution Makeup, and it's the Salvation Velvet Lacquer. The shade is Depravity. And it's you know, it's like the lime crime lip stain thingy, but it's not as neon. This is a little bit darker, but I thought of showing you that. And let's see, what else do I have? I have then also from Knick Knack lipstick, okay, whatever. Knick Knack I think the shade is NFA29, and this is just ultramarine blue. I'll try to list all of the neon colors on my blog, like possibly tomorrow. I think I'll be able to do that. Another thing, if you want to pull off nude lips, like skin nude, there is this thingy that I've been using, and it's, if you think that this is the lip color, it just pales it out. It's also a good base if you want to do a nude lip, so you are already canceling out a lot of the redness or pigmentation. And this is from Etude, and it's the Kissful Lip Care Concealer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not really sure, but you should definitely check. So I'll probably do a post for that, like a specific post for the brighter colors. I personally love wearing brighter colors. I think they're very fun, especially on the lips. Like it's very easy to do, just putting on. And I think that neon colors are also really cool because you can really mix them together. You don't have to be that careful about the colors. And yeah, I think about it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought, because I couldn't swatch them when I bought them because it was like the dollar store kind of thing. And I was so shocked when I opened them and I apply them on their own, and I was like, it's actually really pigmented. Oh, yeah, it has orange undertone. That I will agree. But I usually use this as a base, not on its own entirely, unless I line up my lips first with this and then I apply a little bit of that on the inner side. So anyways, this is the look. I hope this was anyhow helpful, and I could do next week I could do the nude lip thingy. And what else would you like to see? Like, besides nude lips, what would be an interesting topic? Wanna come? Come. Come, mommy angel. Come, my little angel. Come. Ha. Ha. Angel. Yeah, I could do that. Can we do that? Would you be okay with that? I think you would. Yeah. Wanna up there? Okay. Okay. Sure thing. So again, next week, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I don't use blush if I have already a lot of color everywhere. I enjoy blush, but I enjoy blush when I don't really have much else going on. So yeah, that's true. There are many ways to apply blush. My signature is like, apply as much as you can. Yeah, no worries. I mean, this will be it will be released on YouTube. So you can always rewatch these videos. Also, another thing, I'm gonna be posting a couple of more reviews. I've been posting, or I posted this week one review, and it's, you know, I've been trying to do them shorter so that it's easier to watch, and just like the key points and showing you the texture and what it looks like. So keep a lookout on that, because I'm gonna be adding more of those. I love the sunburnt look. That's I always loved. I love a lot of color. And as I said previously, I've been told like you look like a clown, but I don't mind it. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna be doing those reviews. Probably I'll try to edit 2 reviews. Probably one tomorrow and one for next week, and I'll put up those blog posts. Sorry, I had a brain lapses there. I'm going to be putting up those blog posts for the neon lipsticks so that you can easily find it. And if I can find the links where you can buy them, or at least see the description, I'm going to be putting that also in the blog post. And yeah, I think that's about everything. Like, here's another close-up of the look. Like, this isn't an extreme neon kind of thing. It's more toned down, so there is that neon turquoise down there to make it look like it's not entirely naked underneath, but without weighing it down. And then we have a little bit of a smoky thing going on without it being full-blown smoky eye. And so there is the contour and highlight, not really any blush, specific blush. And then there are like, there is the lip liner, then there is the Candy Yum Yum as a base, then there's that this neon pink on top of that, and then there are those 2 other, the Creoline and the lip gloss neon coral thingy on top. And I think that's about it. And if you have sent me an email, I'll definitely check it out now. Or I mean, I'm going now to the post office, and when I'm coming back home from the post office, I'm going to be checking it out. So don't worry about that. If you've emailed me, I'll get back to you in an hour or something. And yeah, I think next week I'm going to be trying to use these 2 new products, trying to incorporate them somehow. Oh, the foundation was that NARS All Day Luminous in Siberia. Again, it's not exactly my match. Like, you can tell that I have a yellow face, basically. And it's darker than my own skin tone, but I like the coverage. That's something that I unfortunately really like. There is nothing that's actually this tone and has my coverage. Nothing really has blue undertones in foundation, so whatever. But yeah, actually I'm kind of liking this look too. It's very intense, I think. But it's actually more intense in reality than in the camera. Like, the camera doesn't always pick the color right. I'm trying to make it pick correctly. Maybe if I'm going more further away, I don't know. But at any rate, it's rare if you're gonna see me completely matching with a foundation. That's very rare. I have maybe 1 or 2 matches, but they aren't entirely full coverage. So yeah, I have to choose between, do I want full coverage, flawless looking skin, or do I want something that matches my skin tone? So and yeah, I think that's about everything. If you have any questions or any further requests, just email me. You can find the email on my website, and I usually answer pretty quickly. So if you have any queries or punish and match or whatever. The turquoise liner, I didn't say it actually, it's MAC chromographic pencil in high def cyan. It actually looks blue here, but it's turquoise. There. And they have many, many different colors, like they have orange, they have purple, pink, and let me show you, there it is. And it's very, very creamy, and they're multi-purpose, so they're for eyes, lips, face, whatever you need to use them for. They were originally a pro product only, but now like you can purchase it even if you aren't a pro. But yeah, anyways, I want to say thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me, and hopefully this was you learned something new and you discovered something new. I personally prefer much more these live streams than, you know, doing like a video and doing my own thing and then I'm editing it, because there's very little interaction, and I might have just used this thing and not been able to show you everything else because I didn't know if you want to see it. So I like the interaction because I can give you more what you want to see. So anyway, so I'll see you probably next week, and also in email land and message land. I'm always around. So thank you very much for watching. And Muffy went to nap again, so he can't say bye. He just left to nap. He's in a nap mood today. Probably is the weather. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.